Hi friends, Carissa Kurowski here. So glad to have you here at a Glow in the Dark podcast. Today I wanted to share some of my thoughts about being in recovery from a mental illness. This is sort of a follow-up because was it about a year ago? I believe, I'm not sure. I did do a video on being 1 year in recovery from depression and just wanted to share again some of my thoughts. So, one of the biggest things that I still notice, is that my day is easier to recover from. So, before living with depression, um, if the day started out bad, it probably ended bad. It was very, very difficult to turn it around. And people often like to say things like, well, just think positive and can't you just change your attitude and blah, blah, blah. No, it's a lot more complicated than that. And I would try so hard to do all those things and just really struggled with it. Now, it's totally, totally different. And I can clearly see that there is a difference between having a mental illness, being depressed, and not being depressed. Um, if something happens, I'm able to recover and get over it and move on with my day. And there's always things that you dwell on, but it is nothing like the horrible rumination of depression that just like makes you spiral further and further and further, and it just sucks the life out of you. So that is probably one of the biggest things that I notice. I kind of just said this, but I also really notice that I, excuse me, am not depressed anymore. Um, because life is just easier when you're not. Um, when you're depressed, it's a struggle to get out of bed every day. I'm not saying I jump out of bed singing like Cinderella by any means, but it's just easier to live. It's not exhausting doing every little thing. It's not like there are things that make you tired, but when you're depressed, everything is exhausting, from showering to making food to everything. Anything and everything just completely depletes your energy. And I have noticed that now, being on the other side, that's not really the case. There are things that make me pretty tired, but it's not the same bone weary, soul crushing exhaustion. I hope that makes sense. If you know what I'm talking about, then it makes sense to you. um and all of this stuff just makes it really clear to me that what I was going through was legitimate and real. And that's something I always wondered about, is that, was I just being a baby? Like, did everybody feel that way? And was I just like ruining my own brain and making things up? And no, like, it was legit and it was real, and I can more see that on the being on the other side of it now. So the moral of that story is that if you are going through something like depression or any mental illness, just know that what you're going through is real. And man, it is so freaking hard. And the work that you do on it is work that nobody sees. I like to tell people that working on your headspace isn't like going to the gym, because when you go to the gym, everyone gets to see the muscles you're building. When you work in your head, nobody gets to see that progress. They might notice a difference in your attitude. I guess it depends. But a lot of times it's unseen, it's invisible progress that only you and your heart know is there. So that can be really, really challenging, and makes it that much harder to push through and really find answers. But let me tell you that you can find those answers. And even though I always want you to think that what you're going through is legitimate and you are going through a struggle, the only way that you can move forward from anything in life is to take responsibility for yourself. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've said this before. There might not be anybody else in your life to stick up for you except you. And I cannot tell you how much that sucks. It sucks so bad. Like, so bad. Because all you want is somebody to pick you up off the floor and help you and love you and guide you and just give you a freaking break. And you want the world to just stop spinning for one freaking moment. But you might not get that option. You might not be able to go to treatment or get the help that you need. You should if you need to, but you might not. And you might not have family members that understand what you're going through, that can support you in all of the things you need to be supported in. So guess what, friends? The only person left to help you is you. Again, I know how much that sucks, but if you ever want to move forward, personal responsibility, taking yourself accountable for your recovery, that's what I had to do. I'm not saying I didn't have help, but ultimately I really had to find the strength to take care of myself. And you guys out there struggling with this, at the end of the day, it's you and your brain. So you have to find out how you can take care of yourself and what you need to do for your recovery. So that's pretty much it. I hope that is interesting or helpful to any of you out there that are struggling with mental illness or maybe in recovery. So again, the biggest thing was that I've noticed was first legitimizing that what I went through is real, and then noticing that I can turn a day around much easier. A bad day can more easily become a good day. It's possible to just change that. And then I forgot the other thing I said. I'm going to end it there then. Thank you so much for watching. I am stoked to have you here at the A Glow in the Dark podcast. Please join us each week for another episode. And if you haven't yet subscribed wherever you like to listen, whether it's Google Podcasts or YouTube or Spotify or wherever, please subscribe so you can keep updated on what's going on. We love to hear from you. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, questions, ideas, please get in touch with us. We want to hear from you. So you can reach us at aglowpodcast.com. Sorry, aglowpodcast@gmail.com. There we go. And if you're wanting more support, we have the best Facebook group ever called A Glow in the Dark Tribe. So feel free to join that if you are looking for more support. And you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.